The Secret of the Fallen Log. Workers were clearing away a log. A strange noise came from inside. Which of these do you think was in the log? The raccoon, squirrel, or owl? Boys and girls, please write your first name, last name, and date at the bottom of your Scholastic News. Who was in the log? As you read, think about all the ways people helped the animals in the log. Last spring, big storms hit Massachusetts. The wind blew trees over. Workers started chopping fallen logs into smaller pieces. One log had a secret. A not-so-empty log. Workers heard an odd sound inside the log. Whoo! Something was calling out. A worker called the New England Wildlife Center. "We think there's an animal in this log," he said. The veterinarians at the Wildlife Center were ready to help. They said, "Just bring it to us." A high-tech tool. The workers brought the log to the Wildlife Center. The veterinarians peeked inside. They couldn't see anything, but they had a tool to help. They had an X-ray machine. It takes pictures of the inside of things. Now they could see inside the log. What had been making that noise? It was 4 owlets. They were baby screech owls. Checking on the owlets. The owlets got a checkup. They weren't hurt. They were just hungry and thirsty. The Wildlife Center staff gave them food and water. They couldn't stay at the Wildlife Center forever. It's better for owls to grow up in the wild. The staff at the Wildlife Center had a plan to help them. New nests. They talked to bird scientists. The scientists knew about 2 owl families that lived nearby. They had their own baby owlets. The scientists went to the owl nests and they waited until night when the parents left to hunt. The scientists climbed the trees. They put the rescued owlets in the nest with the other babies. When the owl parents got back to the nest, they found strange new babies to feed. But owls make great parents, even for babies that show up in the middle of the night. They took great care of all of the owlets. That was last spring. By now, the owlets have grown up. Soon, they will start their own families, and hopefully they'll build nests in trees that won't fall down. By Blair Rainsford. Workers pulled the owlets out of the log. The owlets were a little grumpy. 1, 2, 3, 4. The X-ray machine showed 4 baby owls hidden in the log. Look, here is the owlet that the workers pulled out. We're going to read the chart about 3 types of owls. Then answer the questions. The type of owl is the eastern screech owl. Where it lives, eastern United States. Owl fact, it doesn't make a screeching sound. It sounds like a horse neighing. The type of owl is snowy owl. Where it lives is the northern United States and Canada. Owl fact, its feathers are thick and heavy. They keep the owl warm in cold weather. The type of owl, the northern pygmy owl, where it lives in the western United States. Owl fact: if the owl catches more food than it needs, it hides the food in a tree and saves it for later. 1. Which one has heavy feathers? Look back in the chart for heavy feathers. Is it the eastern screech owl, the snowy owl, or the northern pygmy owl? Question 2. Which one hides its food in trees? Look back in the chart for hides its food. Is it the eastern screech owl, the snowy owl, or the northern pygmy owl? 3. What animal does an eastern screech owl sound like? So go up to the chart to eastern screech owl. Does it sound like a hawk, a parrot, or a horse? Question 4. Which of these is not a place snowy owls live? So go up to the chart, go to snowy owls. Where does it not live? Does it not live in Mexico? Does it not live in Canada? Or does it not live in the United States? Talk about it. What is one way all three owls are alike? Thank you to the staff at the New England Wildlife Centers for their help on this issue. What do you get when you cross a cat and an owl? A meowl.
Creatures of the night. Who is making all that noise? It's an owl. Why is it up so late? Because it's nocturnal. Many kinds of owls are nocturnal. That means they are active at night. Owls aren't the only ones awake at night. Many animals are nocturnal. It may seem strange that so many animals sleep all day and wake up at night, but there are good reasons for this behavior. Some animals live in very hot places. During the day, it's too hot to be out and about. Nocturnal animals spend the day sleeping in a cool underground burrow. At night, the temperature outside drops, and the animals come out. Other animals are nocturnal because it's easier for them to get food at night. Many kinds of bats eat small insects. But during the day, birds eat these insects too. So, bats come out at night when the birds are asleep. That way, the bats don't have to compete with the birds to catch food to eat. Some animals are nocturnal because it's safer for them to be out and about then. In the dark, it's easier to sneak around without being seen. Flying squirrels come out at night when predators like hawks are sleeping. The squirrels glide from tree to tree. But they still have to watch out. They could get snatched up by an owl. How do night hunters like owls find food in the dark? They have a few features that help them get around after the sun sets. Many night animals have big eyes that let them see well when there's not much light. They use their other senses too. Panthers have a great sense of smell that lets them sniff out prey in the dark. And many nocturnal animals hear very well. Bats use something called echolocation. They make a squeaking sound. The sound bounces off whatever's nearby and comes back